What's up, you guys? Today's live stream is going to be at Waimea Bay on the north shore of Oahu. And it's a beautiful day today. It's blue skies, blue water, hasn't been raining much. Basically, I figured I'd fly around Waimea and show you guys, give you guys a little bit of a tour. I grew up in Pupukea, which is kind of up in that mountain straight above the church out there. And this is like where I spent a lot of my time as a kid. So I'll start flying around. These little islands out here are super cool to come out to. And you can snorkel like all along, all throughout these little floating islands. It's great for diving over here because the water is super clear and you see a lot of fish and turtles and whatnot. As you can see, people swim out over here and just kind of cruise. And this is probably what makes Waimea most famous, like its most famous attraction for the bay. So when the surf is big, there's like no one really jumping off this rock, but as you can tell, it's really small today, so there's people jumping off. We'll see if we can capture some people. There's someone from the smaller side. So from the drone, this rock doesn't look that big, but when you're up there standing at the top, it's like about 30 feet tall, and it can be intimidating if you've never done it before. For the people who grow up over here on the north shore of Oahu and Hawaii in general, on Oahu, you come here a lot and you end up doing this jump probably when you're younger as a kid, so growing up it's not that intimidating. But I've brought friends over here and had them stand on the rock for quite some time, and I've seen people up there spend like half an hour before they even jump. Want to fly over anyone. I'll fly out to the point over here. This is the left side of Waimea Bay. So another thing that makes Waimea Bay really famous is the Eddie Would Go ceremony, or not the ceremony, but the contest that they have over here. And they only hold that when it's like 25 feet or bigger. And it's last time it went like 5 years without having the contest. And it looks flat today like a lake, but end to end this bay can close out with sets. The waves get so big. You can search it up on YouTube, the winter giant waves at Waimea Bay, and you'll be shocked. Also, another thing, we were just like, I'll turn around again. Looking back at it, Waimea Jump Rock, at some point it was actually on land if you search old photos of it, and they took a bunch of sand to create Waikiki, and so that's why we have the jump rock now in the ocean. But if you search for an old photo of it, you'll see that it was actually on land and the beach was way bigger. Now the cool thing about summertime in this bay is the dolphins come through here early in the morning. So if you get like a stand-up paddle or kayak or something, you can come out to the middle of the bay and don't chase after the dolphins, but just kind of cruise and let them come to you. And they're pretty like curious creatures, and they'll actually come up to you and check you out, and they're really cool to swim with. I'll kind of fly out to the point a little bit and then fly back into the bay towards Waimea Valley and then Waimea Church, and I'll show you guys kind of where the waves would be if the waves were big today. So this is the far left end of the point. Got these dream houses out here. And that mountain range off in the distance, that's Mount Kaala, the high peak right there, and that's actually the tallest mountain range on Oahu. And it ends all the way at kind of point, as you can see the tip of it out there. And that's where people go skydiving on Oahu, and it's cool to go camping over there, fishing. So these are like two other kind of islands. I don't know if you want to call them islands, but they're outside of Waimea Bay on the left-hand side. And there's like some cool tide pools in the middle of them. You don't really get to see that too often unless you paddle out there or something. And I've actually been swimming in the middle of these two islands over here and had the dolphins come through in the summertime. So that's what I was saying. It's a really cool experience to like swim with the dolphins. And sometimes they're spinner dolphins, and they like come in packs of like 20, 30. So it's crazy to be in the water and see them all like jumping and whatnot. I'm gonna come down a little ways and do a little bit of low flying and then fly back towards the jump rock. So all this area on the edge of the rocks is like pretty shallow, and the middle of the bay, it's really deep. It's an epic day to be at the beach today at Waimea. Trying to get some good shots of people jumping without harassing them too much with the drone. But that gives you a little bit more perspective of like how tall it is. So I'm streaming live through the DJI app, and I'm streaming through my drone using my phone's like internet. And the one thing I don't like about the YouTube Live that Facebook Live has is you can't read people's comments. So I'll read any comments you guys have, just leave them and I'll answer to them in post. But the cool thing, I started doing this on Facebook Live on my pages on there. It was like my Rhizome Media page and my personal page, and I liked it a lot because the people can comment, and then I can kind of engage with the viewers and answer any questions you guys have or any requests you may have. And that's the one thing I think YouTube should fix with the DJI app. They got to get it so that we can read people's comments as they're coming in. But that's my only complaint, really. Give me some feedback if you guys like the live streams. Let me know if you want to see more of them. And also, I'll be doing more vlogs and continue to post my like short edits and compilations and whatnot. I've just been super busy, so I haven't been able to vlog much. But let me know, give me some feedback if you guys want to see more live streams, and if you're familiar with Oahu and you want to see a certain location via drone, let me know. This is the river that comes from Waimea Valley, and it pours out here into Waimea Bay when it rains a lot. And it creates like a stationary wave right here. It's pretty cool. You can see it on YouTube as well if you search for it, like surfing Waimea river mouth. And it's pretty cool. A lot of people do it. Up here on the mountaintop, if you go up a little ways, really sacred spot for the Hawaiian peoples. It's the heiau. And this is the heiau above Pupukea. So you can see it off in the distance, right there at the top of that flat, kind of in that clearing. I don't want to fly over there because I'm going to keep the focus on Waimea Bay, but that's a really cool spot that you can access through Pupukea. Come down a ways. So this is the famous church at Waimea Bay. And off in the distance, you can see all that reef sticking out. That's Sharks Cove. And I have a live stream over there too if you guys want to check that out. It's the Sharks Cove drone tour live. just kind of basically do the same thing, flying around. And you got 3 tables over there is the bay before it. So here's the far right end point of Waimea, and if you've been to Oahu or you're familiar with the different seasons on Oahu, North Shore gets huge in the winter time. The surf can be like 25, 30 feet over here. And if it is, they hold the Eddie Would Go ceremony, which makes Waimea really famous too. I would say that and the jump rock. And it looks flat today. You can see kind of some of these surges coming in at the point. I don't know if you can tell, there's like a couple, you can kind of see the swells. But the waves get huge over here. I'm gonna fly a little bit towards 3 tables. So we don't get much temperature change, but we get drastic like swell change. Here's a great beach off in the distance. That's 3 tables, that sand spot right there. And that's another great spot for snorkeling or diving. So if you ever paddle out to surf Waimea, this is the view you'd get from the point, looking back into the valley. And it's kind of sad that they chose to put those windmills off in the distance, because Waimea is probably like one of the most sacred places on the island, or especially for the North Shore, definitely. And to put the windmills there is pretty sad. So you can tell this is a huge bay, and in the middle of it, it gets really deep. I'll start heading back a ways. So it looks flat today right here too, but also Waimea is famous for the shore break, and a lot of people come to body surf or boogie board over here, and it's pretty heavy wave for sure. Don't get in the water. If you're in doubt, don't go out. The other thing too is there's been kind of like some dirty water leaching out over here by the jump rock, and it's like a pretty interesting sight to see, because it's not coming from the river mouth, which is pretty weird. But there's been like this brackish water kind of lingering over here around the jump rock. I don't know if it's like leaching out of the ground or what. It'd be cool to get like some insight from someone who actually knew. I don't know if it's like pouring out of the water table or what right there. So I feel like Waimea jump rock is definitely one of the things that makes this place so famous. You saw that guy just did a front flip off the rock. And local people and tourists just love to come to Waimea and cruise. If you see that kind of like what looks like a 30-foot, I don't want to fly over all these people, but I'll get kind of closer to the beach. And off over there, there's like that rock wall that looks like. And a lot of people do rock climbing on that rock wall, so that's another thing they do over here. There's just a lot to do at this beach. Great beach for like family and come cruise with friends. They do like flotillas here on 4th of July and whatnot. Again, I would suggest getting a mask and just snorkeling through all this area over here. It's not deep or anything, and I noticed that not too many people ever really come and do that, but it's like a great spot over here to, there's a lot of fish and a lot of turtles and stuff, some caves. looking back at the bay. So with that, I'm gonna leave you guys with that, and leave me any comments or requests that you guys may have if you have any questions. And if you guys would like to see more of the live stream, subscribe to my page too if you guys haven't already, or to my channel I should say. And thank you guys for watching and giving me feedback. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Aloha.